Oh, we're
Okay,
recording.
are you ready?
I'm throw more food. Give me a second. I'm hungry.
Can't believe you let me talk.
I didn't
You
eat dinner
talked me
yet.
into this.
Give us your money. We want it now.
Remember when Pixar used to be good?
Those were the days. What was your favorite Pixar movie growing up?
Wally.
Oh my gosh, my favorite was Wally.
To do a spontaneous cartwheel if I feel so moved.
We were all cringe at this age. Let's be real.
Yeah, but there's like realism of like obviously a kid at this age is going to be cringe, and then having to watch it, like making it realistic towards how a kid acts at this age, does not necessarily make it good writing. You know?
Oh gosh.
We've invented a technology, right? This technology where we can recreate the real realm, and what have we done with this technology? We've made a 13-year-old girl twerk at the fucking camera.
Ah, yes. We have progressed as a society. Isn't she so fun and quirky and relatable?
Isn't she so quirky?
Huh? Heaven.
Are they just stalking some random guy?
Just some fucking random guy.
Killed it per usual. Check it out.
Oh, that's
The Asian's good at maths.
Today on
You know, I could be watching a Stephen He video right now.
Failure! Failure! You're still a failure! Failure! I can smell the failure!
Oh my gosh. Ah, yes. The women cleaning.
Cleaning.
Honoring a god, we honor our ancestors.
And not just the dudes either.
Very equal opportunity worship.
Is this
think
how they
most of the
plan to do
reviews-
exposition?
It's gonna be me staring at the camera, wishing for death because I somehow got convinced into watching this. I know that feeling. Where the glasses just steam up because you're cooking something.
You mean Miriam? That girl is odd.
Isn't Miriam like the green tomboyish girl?
I don't know, and I don't care. You got a magic pencil that can turn drawings alive. SpongeBob.
That would be a great movie. Is she gonna draw?
Imagine all.
How dare! I thought she was gonna drive into
Drive through it.
a whole
Fucking
terrorism,
Terminator.
like a whole terrorist attack.
You! Oh, what have you done to my Meme?
How far are we? We're only 14 minutes in, and we have
God damn
this
it.
much plot going on. Oh my gosh! If you think about it, kids are supposed to be seeing this movie, right? Say like a kid is actually abused by like an older child or something like that. Kids about the same age are seeing this. They're like, oh my gosh, I would never tell my parents something like that, or let them see something like that. That's just terrible. That's just terrible. I would not let my siblings watch this.
I wouldn't let a grown adult watch this. And if anyone's wondering why I sound tired and near death, it's because I want to die and I am tired. There you go.
Now, if anyone's wondering why I sound chipper and energized, it's because I'm already dead.
Pads. Regular overnight scented unscented then
Oh my gosh.
Kids movie.
Why
This is definitely going to go over kids' heads.
I'm wondering why this is in a kids' film.
Oh my gosh, because kids of all ages are going to see this. Let's not let corporates bring these conversations to kids.
Don't let the corporation teach it to kids.
Yep. Thank you.
It's up to the parents teach it to the kids.
Not only that, boys are going to watch this and they're going to be like so damn confused.
I'm just imagining a film where I don't know, like, it's about
Don't scare me.
a 15-year-old boy.
No.
And like his father says, I know your body's going through like a weird time and your balls are dropping.
Shut up!
And you might get a
Okay.
bit excited.
No! Shush, shush. Now I get it. I get it. I get it.
I get it. We
okay?
don't need these kinds of conversations in a fucking kids film.
Who must protect your delicate petals and clean them regularly.
No, the whole cleanliness talk that
Oh.
bit that she just said, and it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't need to hear that.
This one will be over.
It must be worse for you. No, I'm thinking about it.
I just block it out of my brain. So when women get angry, they turn into irrational red pandas. And they all need to calm down. Women, you need to stop being emotional. Like, oh, she shouldn't be here. But it's the fact that she even got this far anyway. And that the security guard was like really polite.
It's Canada. It's Canada. I feel like this shouldn't be about the kid. I feel like this should be about the mom.
That she asked the gods to turn her into one.
Why?
I thought they didn't worship gods.
Of honoring a god, we honor our ancestors.
Whenever she gets emotional, she turns to a panda to protect her village. How does that correlate? But I'm just thinking, like, of all the ways to activate your power whenever you need it, like, why fucking whenever you get emotional? Because that seems like the worst way ever. Also, yeah, it's not just like when they get emotional. Like, they become more irrational because they're a panda.
If you wanted to protect something, you'd have to be more strategic.
Yeah, because, like, wouldn't you just accidentally maul your fucking kids to death if you got too emotional? Did the dad just grab the glasses by the lens? He fucking did it. He fucking no, you do not do this. He should know. He's wearing fucking glasses. You do not touch the lens. I'm tired of this. I hate people touching the lens. It's a giant fucking thumbprint.
He's just asking for the red panda to maul him. This is his act of suicide. Do you hate it when people touch your visor?
Yes. I hate smudges on my fucking visor. You know, if you think about this, is like actually horrific.
It is.
You've been turned into a monster. This is nightmares.
Hormones do
Growing
make you
up.
hyper emotional.
But it's not just about being emotional. This is actually being turned into a monster. Like, I'm trying to imagine, like, could you turn the Hulk into like an allegory for growing up?
You know, it's a good allegory. X-Men.
Death.
Genetic thingy.
X-Men.
Oh yeah, that honestly, that's a much better allegory.
I'm a freak. Just like
I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. What is happening?
Don't know. Could have done literally anything else. We could have watched Arcane. We
Yep.
could have watched Doctor Who. We
Mhm.
could have watched Red Dwarf. We could watch IT Crowd.
Yep.
We could watch so many other things, and you're forcing me to watch this.
We will endure the suffering together. Yay! Are you having fun, Shiny? Because
No,
I am.
I'm not having fun.
I'm having so much fun seeing you suffer.
You know, I'm honestly scared already because like Rule 34 is a thing with almost everything. And
Thanks
I-
for putting
I-
that in
I-
my head. This is ridiculous. Don't put this kind of
Well-
thing in my head, okay?
if you have to sit, or if you're making me sit through this and go through pain, pain loves misery, and I'm putting you through the exact same pain.
Ah.
Right, Chin? See, your father agrees. No concert, and that's final.
This
The
guy's
poor
a fucking
dad.
simp.
He's a simp.
Okay.
Well, they just keep steamrolling over the poor guy.
Am I the only one who sees the danger here?
Poor guy.
Abandoned in. And $200?
Wait, what? Sorry, what the fuck did they just say? Stripper music.
Stripper music? Kids are definitely not going to ask questions about that. Mommy, what is stripper music? Where did you hear that? I heard it from the Turning Red movie.
Music. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with strip? Fuck off.
So you like the panda? I'll give you anything. Money?
Now, what part of the allegory is this supposed to be?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Prostitution.
Panda, fucking
Panda
panda pics.
Oh my. So if a teacher or student goes up to you and asks, "Hey, do you want to make some money?"
They're now selling merch.
You're
of
just
the
gonna have to
panda.
show me something in private. Would you do it?
This is like the girl version of simps. You know how like guys simp
K-pop
for like,
stands.
like how guys end up simping for like thoughts online. This is women simping for boy bands.
Yeah. K-pop stands.
Looking good.
Oh, look at those women objectifying men.
Yeah, if the roles were reversed, this would not be acceptable.
Yeah, this would be demonized as hell. Was it boys on the stand just watching girls?
Yeah, that's not a double standard at all.
I'm telling you everything. Now,
Blackmail. I'm sorry. Considering where the analogy was looking before with Pix with the panda, she's being blackmailed by this kid to be at his birthday party to be the entertainment for him and his buddies. And he's gonna give her
And the
$200
panda's
for it?
supposed to be an allegory for, or was it the coming of age for female maturity?
This is like 50 Shades of inappropriate.
This does not sound right
She's
with me.
she's charging him per time.
Great. She's a prostitute.
Rather hang with Dad?
He's still in the film.
Oh, poor dad. He got so sad.
He got left all by himself. Why has she got a scar on her face? Is it
she's
because she's supposed to be
cool.
evil? Like, I'm trying to frame this in the allegory. Like, I'm confused.
I could see it. I could see it. Teens get like really angsty after a
Yes,
certain...
I know.
Say like a parent has like a kid that they get along with really, really well, and then suddenly like they're angsty and they're just annoyed like at their parents, like, oh, stupid parents, like you can't do anything right.
Yes,
You're
but
always
then there's an
embarrassing.
age that kids essentially get over that. And I'm pretty
Right.
sure the mother's at the age to get over teenage angst.
But what's even worse is that it's coming from the grandma who's kind of being framed as like the villain here. Part of it is true. It does drive a wedge between you and your parents, and it hurts for both sides. But what the grandma's basically saying is like, don't lose that connection you have with her. It's like she's like not deciding not to whore herself out, and everyone's like, no, you should do it. She's letting all the guys ride her.
Fuck me.
he is working you.
Yo, out of context, that is a pretty bad line.
Oh.
Did she just... Did you see that? You didn't see that. You did not
Didn't see
catch that.
what?
She does like the maracas.
Use her like this.
What?
But we didn't.
Yes, they did. They fucking used her. Yeah, they were the ones that came up with the idea, as essentially Mei Mei's been prostituting herself out to all the kids.
They've been pretty much her pimps.
Yeah. So the beginning, the mother getting upset with that just random guy, that was like obviously not rational at all, but this is completely rational, the fact that they have taken advantage of their friend. Yeah, May wanted to go, but at the same time, you did take advantage. You can't say you didn't.
They did. They kind of extorted her for money.
What has she told you about her panda? It was quite destructive. And big.
He was into it.
Only once. She and your brother had a terrible... She was incredible.
Yeah, he was into it.
So again, the panda's supposed to be an analogy for coming of age and maturity and growing up. So if the whole ritual is about sealing it away, what is it supposed to be an allegory for? Like sealing away your maturity.
Sealing away your independence?
So seal away emotion, independence.
And keeping the status quo? Enjoy the magic of Shen Yun. Do you know the Shen Yun thing?
No. Even the Hulk film's better than this.
I think that's actually kind of cute. Her bouncing back and forth like that.
Is that a random kid falling to her death?
Oh no!
Not like we didn't abuse your state of being to get what we wanted. You'd also be better if they both kind of reconciled that they were both kind of dicks.
Everyone is abusive to like... Everyone's so manipulative to Mei Mei. Who else are we gonna exploit for money?
What the hell?
Here she comes! Here she comes!
Why the fuck is she the size of a skyscraper?
Now you gotta remember, this is what her husband is into. I can imagine the dad being all like, that's hot. Damn, step on me anytime.
You can't see me, but I'm wincing. How's no one died?
Oh, she's conservative.
Yeah. And she likes gyrating at 13. And
You know
if
they
her
wanted to say
mother doesn't
twerking.
like, and if her mother doesn't like that, then well, she's just an old fuddy-duddy.
I like that word, fuddy-duddy. But anyway, we're in for a sick kaiju fight. Here we go. What on earth?
The 13-year-olds.
And like the friends are like cheering her on.
It's like demonizing parenting, like as a whole, like more conservative parenting of children. It's like, oh, you shouldn't be like sexual. You shouldn't be this, that, and the other. But like, it's everything is like be over controlling. He's like, oh no, you can't even go to concerts. What about it?
It's extremes.
Yeah, it is really extreme and not even looking at like some what I consider to be serious issues and upholding things like, oh no, a 13-year-old should be allowed to twerk if she wants. A 13-year-old is old enough to make her own decisions. Like, no, she isn't. She's not old enough to make her own decisions.
This is better. Like, this is like familial loyalty. Family will do anything for family.
Like, if you took away the explicit statements of what it is and what it's trying to say, you'd be like confused as all fuck about what it's trying to say. But I'm confused what it's trying to say, but I mean, like, the analogy, like, you wouldn't draw the analogy from like, oh, they turned into the pandas so that they can get the mum back into the circle so that they can all take away the pandas again.
Yeah, the analogy should be supplementary. The story should be able to stand on its own. But if the story is so reliant on the analogy, then the story can't stand. What? Huh?
Is this supposed to help her when she's essentially just... No, I bet if we just came with a fucking growing up analogy, coming of age story, it'd be much better than this crap.
We have to... Mom? I hurt her. Who? My mom.
Oh, that's why she has a scar.
Angry and I lost control.
Makes no fucking sense, but at least she got one tiny nice moment.
See, it's more of like the mom's journey than the daughter's.
Why is the mom growing up all of a sudden?
Maybe because it's on May to overcome this issue that they've had to deal with for generations.
So, in about an hour and 20 minutes, we've had one small nice moment. They destroyed a lot.
They did.
They must have at least killed a few people, and the story's just kind of glossing over that.
Things at the temple have never been better.
Don't break the fourth wall.
You're not going out like that, are you?
My panda, my choice, Mom.
Oh boy. What?
Yeah, I'm just not gonna try and think about the analogy at all. Of like, I'm more confused than anything about what this is supposed to mean.
There's so much.
Because like there are multiple angles that it tries to give the story about what the red panda is supposed to represent. That every time it tries to say, oh, like we've all got red panda in us. Like, oh, I let it out. What about you? Like all the way different uses of the red panda. It's like, no, the analogies that you're trying to tie to this make no fucking sense.
And the fact that it's focused on May doesn't really experience as much growth as her mother did. So, which is why I feel like her mother should have been the main character.
You haven't seen it, but there's a really good episode of Deep Space Nine. It's about a character named Odo, who he's a shapeshifter, and he was found by a scientist. And the scientist didn't know what he was and just experimented with him. And essentially, it's kind of an allegory for parents who are like very tough on their children. Because obviously he did some like very brutal experiments trying to figure out what he was. And then those experiments kind of ended up forcing Odo to grow up. Even though it pushed Odo, he ended up resenting by his father for those experiments. Like Odo found another changeling. Like he came across one just floating in space. He has to teach it. It's like a child. He tries doing exactly what he wanted to be grown up as. He wanted to be very kind and nurturing, but it never allowed the changeling to essentially push it to where it should be. Like it never knew what it could achieve because it was always happy and comfortable and content. Whereas when Odo's father comes to the station to try and help him, he starts giving Odo advice and doing the same experiment, and it starts to push him. And because of the balance of the caring nature while also pushing the kid's boundaries to like what it could achieve, it ended up getting a lot more out of the kid, what Odo's methods were getting and what Odo's father's methods were getting. So it's a really nice allegory for essentially parentage. Then it kind of requires a balance, and Odo gets to console with, again, his father, realizing that the exact same things he's doing during his parentage are what he resents his father for, and now he understands. And that is like far better. Like, I can't. That's like 40 minutes of an episode, like longer or that's shorter than this film, and it is so much better in terms of the allegory for parentage than this. Like the Odo episode, have the episode focus on the mother and how she's trying to essentially raise her child. And we know she's a bit overbearing. She kind of realizes that's perhaps what happened with her mother. And then you get some reconcile with her mother, that she realizes that, you know, the stuff that her mother did to her was the exact same thing that she's doing to her child, and that her child resents her for now.
There's something called generational trauma, in which the way that you were raised will be passed down to the way you will raise your kids. Oftentimes, whether you like it or not, unless you make a conscious effort to change it. Oftentimes, when there's generational trauma, there's an issue, you know, growing up, and then you resolve, oh, I'm not going to be that way for my kid. But then it blindsides you to all the ways that you actually are copying those behaviors. It feels like we're wasting our time with May when this is really a story about her mother.
Yeah, her mother's the one with the flaws, and she's the one that's essentially supposed to be growing from this story. How does May grow? She's gone from really obedient child to disobedient child to pretending to be an obedient child while being disobedient. It's not much of a progression. She doesn't change much as an actual person. She doesn't have the story doesn't point her flaws out at all. It's all about the mother.
So if you were to cut all the parts with May and just have a compilation of just May's mother, you would get a complete story. Well, it was cringe, and it was fun cringe.
My panda, my choice, mom.
Like I said, it's too immature for adults, but it's too mature for children. It can't pick a lane. That's the
Well,
whole
it's
problem.
not the same. Like the story itself is immature, while also having like things which are not. They shouldn't really be in like a children's film. So it's not like the same degree. Like it's somehow trying to go for the middle of the road. It should have a level of maturity in its storytelling and not have themes which shouldn't be in a children's film. My final thoughts, my serious final thoughts, lie more upon like what's the point of the film. Every story at the end of the day should have a purpose. It should have a point. It makes it feel like there's more of a reason for why we sat through the story in the first place. But maybe I'm not the demographic. Maybe I'm just a straight male who would not know anything about periods and women and growing up. And it's
You're
not for
just
me.
an old fuddy-duddy.
It wasn't made for me.
I could see, like, if I was 13, how it would be made for me, but me being an adult now, me having younger cousins and younger siblings, I like to keep an eye on what they're watching. I don't like to just have them in front of any old show. It doesn't look good.
You know, the dynamic between Hiccup and his father in How to Train Your Dragon is much better than this. You can
Katrina.
even see some parallels to this film in How to Train Your Dragon, because the father wants Hiccup to be just like him. So there are ways that you can tell the story, just not this.
How many ghosts in space would you give this film?
-20.
Minus 20 ghosts in space. I give it a -3 out of 5. But anyway, I had fun with the pain and
did
the
not.
suffering. But anyway, I will see you next time, Captain.
Right, see you later. So before this video ends, I'd like to thank Eerie the Ghost for editing a vast majority of this video. It was her fault that I had to sit through this horrible mess of a film, but she somewhat made it up for me by editing this video. So I will leave Eerie the Ghost's YouTube channel in the description of this video if you would like to check her out. I'm not sure if she has any content on her channel, but she's an amazing animator, as well as having some pretty great ideas for what her channel is going to have in store next. For any of you which are currently curious about how my channel is currently, I'm trying to make some content, but I'm still stuck in the script writing stage for a lot of my videos. Like there's a lot of thought that I like to put into these videos, which I don't like to just shove them out there. So if I'm going to release a video, I want to try and make it as clean as possible. So unfortunately, you'll have to wait a little bit longer before I make another video. But my next video should be New Star Trek is not Star Trek, where I do a comparison between Kurtzman Trek and the type of storytelling that it does, and like TNG era Trek, like Roddenberry, what he would have created. So anyway, I hope that you will be able to look forward to that as soon as possible. and I'll see you in the next video.